Fox Carolina First Alert Weather with meteorologist Brian Bachman.
And of course, one of the big questions becomes, what does that mean for our area more specifically? Well, if you take a look at what a typical El Nino pattern often equates to in terms of winter weather patterns, well, you see here folks in the northern tier all the way back to the Pacific Northwest, pretty straightforward for them. This often leads to a warmer than average winter, while the southern tier of the U.S. from Southern California through Texas, the Gulf Coast, and to an extent coastal portions of the southeast does get a little bit wetter. And you have this pocket from the Midwest to portions of the deep south where things tend to be a little bit more abnormally dry. I show you all of that to say El Nino for us in our area specifically here in the western Carolinas, northeastern Georgia, it often is a toss-up. We've had some very snowy winters in past El Nino years, but we've also had winters that have wound up much drier and warmer than average. So it frankly is just one that could go either way for us here in the southeast. So ultimately, I guess we'll see what happens. As for our weather here right now, no doubt about that, we actually have a couple new severe thunderstorm warnings here. Let me readjust here so we can get you the information on the screen. This new severe thunderstorm warning looks like it includes portions of southern Cherokee County as well as extreme southeastern Spartanburg County, northern Union County. This is going to be in effect until 5 o'clock. This, like many of the other storms that have passed through today, capable of producing up to quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. As you see in here, kind of on the north and western side of Surratt here, some torrential rain, cloud-to-ground lightning with those. So if you're anywhere from Surratt to Union and certainly back toward the Pauline area right now, just make sure that you get to cover from those storms. Storms on other parts of the area, not severe, but still packing a bit of a punch as they race away toward the Gray Court area right now. One moving south of Princeton and another one heading into Abbeville County toward due west. These have had a history of producing roughly dime to penny size hail at times, as well as a couple of these cells moving out ahead of the main line, moving toward Newberry, Chapels, and 96 right now. So if you're essentially south of I-85 at this point, just make sure you stay on your guard for another hour or two here as the worst of this activity will continue off toward the southeast. Good news, though, is that these storms are quick moving. They will not be sticking around long this evening. They're not going to have any bearing on our weekend weather. The cold front responsible, that's going to quickly duck southeast of us into the overnight period, and we'll see here on Future Track how quickly things change. We go from these spotty showers, maybe a few leftover storms in the next couple of hours, but by 7 o'clock, going into football time this evening, pretty much all that activity, barring maybe one or two sprinkles, is over and done with. We clear quickly, especially across the upstate going into tonight, maybe with some lingering clouds due to breezy conditions in the mountains. But it sets us up for a gorgeous weekend with still fairly mild temperatures. For a change, this cold front really not poised to have a dramatic impact on our temperatures, more or less just kind of holding level as we go into the weekend. In fact, you see there, Saturday, Sunday, upstate highs, low to mid-70s. A little cooler Monday, 68, but then a warming trend back to the mid-70s heading into next week with dry weather. And in the mountains, not too much different. 60s tomorrow through Monday with plenty of sunshine, and that continues as 70s return next week. And as always, especially with this active weather, make sure to download the Fox Carolina First Alert Weather app. We'll keep you updated as those severe storms progress through the area and, of course, on your weekend forecast, too. And